Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and today we'll be reading a post from r/lose it. I'd encourage you to watch until the end because it gets pretty good towards the end. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more weight loss stories. It always seems impossible until it is done. 2 years, 137 pounds lost, and I no longer believe in impossible. Let's start with what everyone enjoys. Here's my before and after. And a side picture. 2 years ago, I was 273 pounds and wearing a size 24 waist. Today, I'm 136 and a size 2. It wasn't the first time I tried to lose weight, and it wasn't the 10th time either. I've been overweight since I was a child. I'd have to go back to 5th grade to remember a time that I weighed less than I do now. I'd tried and failed, tried and given up, tried and developed an ED, and then just gave up. However, 2 years ago, my mom had a massive heart attack and almost died at 59. My dad died of a heart attack at 65. Everyone in my family was obese and had a myriad of health issues, mostly heart and diabetes related. My health wasn't the best either, not just physical health. My mental health was awful. I hated and was disgusted with myself. I couldn't look in a mirror and be happy. Still, I didn't want to die. I didn't want to be thinking how at 29 my life was almost half over if I continued on this path. My great-grandparents and grandparents had lived into their 90s and early 100s. I didn't want to be looking at death in my 60s like my parents. So I decided to make some real changes. I started trying to eat healthier. I started trying to move a bit more. I felt so ridiculous the first time I tried to follow some at-home exercise. It all seemed pointless and I felt like a fool. Still, I did it. I also started therapy. I really started trying to work my self-image and learn to love myself. For once in my life, I wasn't going to look at weight loss as a punishment or some sort of ordeal to be faced due to the sin of being fat. I strived to look at this as changing in ways to take care of myself. Changing in ways to be healthy, because part of loving yourself is taking proper care of yourself. Some may not agree with it, but I developed the mindset that the most body positive thing I could do would be to lose weight as part of becoming healthy. The first 40 pounds came off pretty easily. It was simply changing my diet to be healthier with more home cooking and walking around a bit more. There wasn't anything special needed. However, it was in the low 230s that I started to stall. So after some time researching and learning more about CICO and nutrition, I decided to start counting calories. I set a goal of 1,500 calories. I also started trying to not just walk, but to actually run as well. My first attempt at running was a failure. So was the second, and so was the 20th attempt. Finally, I went to a doctor, and I was diagnosed with exercise-induced bronchospasms, basically asthma that is only activated by physical activity. Did I give up? No. Past me would have, but not anymore. I got a prescription for an inhaler and kept trying to run. And meanwhile, I didn't just want to limit calories. I wanted to be healthy about it. At 1,500 a day, I really needed to focus on nutrition. I had thought my diet was good before, but it drastically improved now. I started focusing on getting all my nutrient needs. I learned to cook a lot of my favorite takeout meals. I started packing lunch every day, and I kept at it. Running was getting better, and I was inconsistently going to the gym, and that really started to further motivate me. I realized I really love to run. I love how it feels, and I love how different I feel compared to how I used to be. And now, today, 2 years later, I am a completely different person. My entire diet has changed. My habits have changed. My life has changed. I went from a 273-pound sedentary pack-a-day smoker with all sorts of health issues to being 136 pounds, a non-smoker, able to run 10 miles whenever I feel like it, can spend an entire day lifting weights and still function tomorrow, and never feel afraid that I'm not physically able to do something. Things I learned. Make lifestyle changes. Don't do a temporary diet. As you plan out changes, ask yourself if this is a change that can be permanent. Your weight is a collection of all your current habits and diet. Your goal weight will be a collection of new habits and diets. The one exception to this is if you have a large amount of weight to lose. You're almost certainly going to have to count calories at some point. That probably won't be a permanent thing, but it will be something that you're going to have to do for a while. Exercise. Yes, you don't need exercise to lose weight, but it makes it easier. Plus, there have been multiple studies that show that exercise is needed to maintain weight loss, especially for large weight loss. You don't need a lot, but you do need to have a moderate amount. Here's a video that talks about it. Also, exercise is going to be important for giving you the body you want. I see people on here who post all the time that are my height and weight, yet are wearing clothes that are multiple sizes bigger and have a lot more stomach fat than I do now. Exercise is the key defining difference between being fit and healthy and being someone who ends up being skinny fat and needing to drop to an excessively low weight to look in shape. You don't have to do the gym and running, but find something that will keep you physically active. Find some sort of hobby you can do that gets you regularly moving. It really doesn't matter what it is, just find something. Nutrition, calorie counting, intermittent fasting, or anything else you use will help you lose weight. But if you want to be healthy, then you have to think about your nutrition. You need to make changes to that. You can start small. I did, and I let it build, but you gotta get to a place where your diet is like 90% healthy and only 10% or less of junk food. Plus, proper nutrition will allow you to be a lot less hungry while on a deficit. So, that helps a lot when you're looking at a year or two of having to be on a deficit every day. Mental health. If you deal with emotional issues, I sure did, then give therapy a try. Work on your mind as well as your body. The two are connected. If your mind isn't organized, then your body will be similar. Your diet will be similar. Your physical appearance will represent how you feel about yourself. I know this will be hard for many, but try to work towards a place where you love yourself. Try to find a way where you are doing this out of love and caring for yourself. If you hate yourself, if you think of yourself as a failure or a loser, then you're going to fail. You've already decided that you'll fail before you even started. You're not a failure though. You're not a loser. The fact that you're here and going about your day shows how strong you are. You can do this, and I truly hope that you can believe that you can. Most importantly, never give up. There will be setbacks. You will have times when you struggle. You're going to feel foolish and anxious. Starting at the gym will feel awkward. Some days your motivation will wane. You'll want to give up. Don't. Just keep going. Make it a habit. This is a part of your day. It's brushing your teeth. You do it every day because you need to. Remember, you live every moment of every day in your body. That means you need to spend every day maintaining and caring for your body. Tips for weight loss. 1. Give yourself a goal deficit, but don't stress going over it. If you set a 1,000 calorie deficit, whether you end up at a 900 deficit or a 100 deficit that day, you still lost weight. 2. Take a maintenance day or two every so often. It'll be time to recharge. 3. If you go over, it's okay. Track it and move on. Don't restrict extra the next few days. All you did was add a couple days to the end goal. Will 1 year really be that different from 1 year and 2 days? 4. Learn to cook a few simple meals that can be easy to make. Bonus if they're things you love. I love rice bowls. Now I make homemade ones instead of takeout. It takes about 25 minutes to cook. That's really not that long or different than going somewhere, waiting in line, waiting for them to make it, and then coming home. 5. Choose some vegetables that you enjoy and make them a core part of your meals. You can do a lot with a few ingredients done in different styles. Really, you only need to find like 3 to 5 vegetables you like to be able to have a good amount of variety. 6. Make your own desserts. You'll know exactly what went in them and therefore the calories count. Plus, homemade cookies are great for sharing and taste better. 7. I said it a few times, but I can't stress enough the importance of finding a physically active hobby that you love. It'll make all the difference. A bonus, transitioning to maintenance. A few weeks into maintenance, I experienced a period of intense hunger. It was beyond any level I'd experienced while losing weight. After much research, I found out that it is a side effect usually seen as part of an ED recovery, where your body wants to be refed. There is not much on what long-term deficits do to your body outside of ED research, so that ended up being the only info that explained it. I had to watch my diet carefully for about a while, but then the hunger went away. I don't know if everyone will experience this, but you may want to watch out for it when you switch to maintenance. The good thing is that everything I read and my own experience is that it does go away eventually. As I've experimented with different styles of maintenance, I've discovered that some days I naturally feel less hungry, so I end up undereating a bit. Other days I overeat. It all balances out though. And knowing that has been helpful in feeling a lot less afraid of eating too much. It all keeps balancing out, so I'm all good. Really be careful about this one. I see a lot of people that seem to have a similar pattern after maintenance, and many naturally thin people do too. If you're not careful here, you can get into a pattern of binge and restrict. It's not healthy to do that. It can lead to a binge ED if you don't already have one. The first time you overeat after maintenance, try not to restrict the next day. Eat at maintenance. If you're just not hungry, then it's fine to eat less. Just don't fall into the trap of a multiple 1,000 calorie binge, followed by days of eating only 1,000 calories until you get into another binge. I almost did this, and I'm so glad I was still in therapy to talk about this prior to it becoming a bad habit. Tied to this is your mental health with exercise. Never view exercise as what you do so you can eat. Yes, it does mean that you can eat more. I literally can eat the same amount of food I did at 273 pounds without gaining weight due to my activity level. But it's a bad mindset. What happens the first time you miss a day? When you're sick? When life gets in the way? Are you not going to eat because you didn't exercise enough? Well, your body still needs food. Similarly, when you overeat, you can't just work it off. You're not going to be able to do 2 to 3 hours of working out a day to make up for overeating. You're going to hurt yourself eventually. A much better mindset is that you eat so you can be active. That's why you want to find something you love. Food becomes the fuel that lets you do what you enjoy. It's not the enemy. It also motivates you to keep good nutritional habits because it means that you can do your active hobby better. You want that mindset that allows you to love what healthy food does to you so that you're not scared of eating. If you do find that activity you love, it'll be so much easier because once you're at maintenance, you'll start to see giant leaps in your physical ability. I literally improved my running pace by almost 2 minutes within a month of going into maintenance. I became able to run a 5K on under 24 minutes, and that keeps me from restricting out of fear. I can feel my performance suffer when I restrict now, and the feel of being physically fit is just too amazing. Like every day, I used to walk around feeling like a beat up Oldsmobile. Now I walk around every day feeling like a brand new Lamborghini. Lastly, don't forget that you lost the weight. You can always lose again, so don't be afraid to experiment with different styles of maintenance. And just watch your weight. If you start trending up, say 5 pounds above your goal line, then you can simply spend a couple weeks at a deficit and be good again. It's really not that big of a deal. Worst case scenario is every few months you spend a couple weeks dieting. Why be scared of that? Best of luck all. And that brings us to the featured narwhals of the day from our subreddit. Our subreddit is a place to share pictures, ask questions, and get support on your weight loss journey. To join, just open the description below and click the top link. Click Use App, install the Reddit app, create an account, and then click Join once you're at our subreddit. We'd love to have you join us on the subreddit. Once again, the link is below. Diane says, my favorite jeans from 4 months ago. A huge non-scale victory. Mia says, well, I'm kind of inspired by the narwhal's progress pictures here, so I decided to post mine. I lost 26.4 pounds, 12 kg, between the left picture and the right one. There's more to lose, so I guess that's just the start. Totally Not M says, almost 15 kg down since starting this journey at the beginning of March, and I already feel more confident. I'm very happy with how everything is going, and I'm excited to continue. Thanks for sharing featured narwhals. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. Thanks for watching narwhals, and I'll see you in the next one.